Hi, my name is Willem Ziada, New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film, and also proud Phoenix Global Artist Ambassador. Today, I am thrilled to be speaking with acclaimed singer, songwriter, producer, Connor James. For more on Connor, you can read more about him right below this video, but in the meantime, take a sneak peek at the amazing talent of the one and only Connor James.
I get crazy when the time goes on. You don't show. Drawing pictures on the carpet doesn't feel like fun for too long. Just remember I'm a human when you throw your stones. A shit bruise. Undone. It's causing you to turn blue and get no worked up. Jam gun. It's gonna shoot, and if you know it's good for you, open up and take one.
Well, hello, Connor. How are you?
Good. How are you, Will?
I'm good, thank you. And I'm very excited that the audience has got a little sneak peek of your incredible talent with your song Heavy on Me. Yep. Connor, you are a Renaissance man, singer, songwriter, producer. I want to know, where were you born and when did you realize that you just wanted to be a part of it? Music, music, music.
Sure. I was born near Boston, like a half hour south of Boston. And then
whereabouts?
It's called Bridgewater. It's like a small town on the east
I know
coast.
it very well. I went to Boston College.
Okay.
And I have lots of friends who are from Bridgewater, Newton. I know it, but I'm not going to make this about me the whole time. Keep going, Connor.
You're one of the only people that have responded with like a familiarity to that town, so congratulations.
Listen, I'm born and bred in New York, but Boston has a very special place in my heart, but keep going.
Sure. So yeah, I was born and raised there. And then, when I was young, I just was singing in the car all the time. I used to drive around with my mom and we used to sing. And eventually when I grew up, I got involved in like the high school musicals and stuff. So I ended up going to musical theater conservatory in New York. And I lived in New York for like 6 years after that. And the whole time I was just, I'm like a self-starter. I like to kind of run the ship for myself. So musical theater is one of those things where you have to go and audition and you're on other people's time all the time. And I just found that music was a better opportunity for me to kind of call my own shots a little more. And so I just, started working with this neighbor of mine who was a producer, and then I kind of was watching him as he would produce the stuff that we were working on. I'd just watch and kind of like take mental notes, and then I started just doing it myself. I've been songwriting since I was like really young. So yeah, I mean, it's been something that's just kind of always been a part of me, and now it's really translating into like, in the real world application of it.
Well, I love it. Listen, as a director and watching all of your videos, what I love so much and learning a little bit more about your backstory is that you have created a stage for yourself where you are the lead. You are the lead in your own musical. And there's something very theatrical about your music and about the characters that you write. And I'm curious to know, I mean, is it a subconscious thing that you're kind of putting in this theatrical thread through everything you do?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think like when you make art of any kind, like you do it through your own lens, and my lens happens to just be very much centered on like the story and like you said, developing characters and yeah, it's just a very theatrical place that I live in my head, like even on a day-to-day basis. Like if I'm getting coffee or something, it's an ensemble event. So if that's how it translates, I don't actively try to do that, but if that's how it translates, then that's great.
Listen, Connor, I want to know, throughout this time, obviously it's been tough for all humans, especially artists. Curious to know what you've been able to do as an artist during this time.
Sure. Well, I moved to California in the time that the pandemic was happening, so it was a big like major life shift happening, and I just had, once I got to California and everything, I just had a lot more time than I ever did. I didn't feel like I had to, well, the restaurants I was working at were closed, or, there was not really opportunity to like make money and participate in capitalism for a while. So I had time to myself for the first time to really like, just get to know what I'm trying to say. And I took time doing that. And then also I just learned how to produce. I learned in the time of the pandemic is when I really like sat down at the laptop and the computer and started like really learning the ins and outs of that. So it was on a personal level, a lot of good things came out of it. Obviously, it's been, like you said, a really hard time for the world, and obviously on a personal level, there's been hardness within that. But yeah, it's been a great opportunity to kind of take time and focus on what makes me happy.
Yeah, and on top of that too, Connor, you're mentioning something that a lot of artists have talked about, an opportunity to learn new tricks. I
Yeah.
mean, the fact is we were all forced to become the producers of our content. And the fact that you took the time to finite and fine tune your skill sets as a producer, I'm sure you've also learned things through that doing. You've learned things as an artist along the
Yeah,
way.
for sure. And they translate to just everyday life. Like I think I've stopped depending on other people for like everything, and it's in some ways it's a blessing because you can like you can really be a self-starter, and you can, like you said, like produce your own content and stuff. But then also the expectation of artists these days is to do 100 jobs, obviously, and I'm sure you know that as well. So it's tough, but yeah, no, overall I think it's a really good thing, and taking the reins for yourself is, I don't think, ever a bad thing. So it's been good in that way, for
The
sure.
way that I kind of look at the onion that is the artistic journey of Connor James, as I speak about you like you're not in the room, you're welcome, is is kind of like, you're a performer, did the musical theater gig, and you're like, kind of, don't want to wait for someone to say you're hired. So you
Yeah,
basically created your own thing,
yeah,
created your own stage for you to be the lead in it. And then on top of that, you not only created the space, you are now producing the space. So truly, you are waking up every day making the choice to put yourself first and saying hired every day now from a 360 standpoint. And that must feel kind of good.
yeah. Well, I mean, now it does. I hadn't really thought about it in those terms,
These are
but
the things I think about, Connor, when I do my research.
that's great. I appreciate that. That's really cool. That's a really cool way to think about it. I haven't thought about it like that.
Well, look at Connor. I mean, obviously the sky's the limit because you now literally and figuratively do it all. I want to know, when looking forward, what are you most looking forward to, in the weeks and months to come?
I'm finishing up a 13-song record right now, so that's super
As you
exciting.
do, as you do.
As
Talk to me
one,
a little bit about that.
it's called. Well, I'm not gonna say what it's called because I'm not sure yet. But I've been working with this kind of like energy of like I'm a Gemini, like the duplicitousness, like the shapeshiftiness, like the ability to kind of like change, code switch or change in certain situations to make them work for you. So I've just been working on that concept. So all the songs kind of have something to do with just like different parts of myself, or like different ways, different things that come out in different situations. So I've been able to hire a bunch of session musicians, and I've done it all remotely, and then I've produced it all myself, and I'm getting it mixed right now by somebody else because I'm not quite there yet with that. But yeah, it's really exciting, and it wouldn't have happened without all this extra time. So I'm grateful for that.
Well, Connor, it also wouldn't have happened that you took the step forward and, you leaned into maybe some fear, chose courage, and just made the choice to do the thing. And so I've loved the week that I've been able to really research you. Really grateful for our time today. But I want to let our audience know, for more on the amazing Connor James, you can read more about him right below this video. Connor, you
Yes.
are a star, my friend, but I'm sure your parents remind you of that every day.
They do. Yes. Thank you.
That you really are. I'm a born and bred New Yorker, so I say it like it is. But I also have Boston in me, and I know they say it like it is too.
Yes, it's a similar energy. The East Coast, we just
Yeah,
say what's on our minds, really.
I know people from Bridgewater.
Like,
Okay.
that's funny. I love that.
Well, listen, Connor, I'm very grateful for your time, and I look forward to talking with you soon.
Yeah, thank you so much, Will.
Take care.
You as well.